Death Club.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. Me and Grant today as we are talking about a prequel manga to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And it is called Assassin's Creed Blood Brothers. This is written and drawn by Fang Zissou. This is a Chinese, I want to say mangaka because she mainly works on manhwas. Though I don't think it's the webcomic version of manhwas. It's more traditional manga-looking art style here, as we see here in Blood Brothers. This started in November of 2020, roughly a monthly series with a total of 5 chapters. Shout out to Tokyo Pop. They sent us a review copy for this to check it out for the digital version, which is releasing today, as you're hearing this, August 14th. And then the physical will be out October 12th, later this year. And yeah, so this stars our 2 main characters whose names I will butcher because these are some names, all right. Ulf and Bjorn.
Ulf and Bjorn, yeah.
2 brothers as they make their way to England. And just take the rest away, Grant, because I really don't know much about Valhalla here.
It's about 2 brothers who rescued the Skald, who's being attacked by wolves. The Skald actually has a message for their lord, goes by the name of Blue Shield. The sons of Ragnar, Ivar the Boneless, and Halfdan have invited you to England. What I really liked about this, you get to see Halfdan and Ivar the Boneless, because you see them in-game. Ivar is he's a really crazy character, and Halfdan, later on in the game, he's kind of nuts. He starts to lose it. But it was interesting. It talks about them and before Eivor landed in England.
I haven't played Valhalla. I was curious to see how much enjoyment you would get out of this after playing the base game for Valhalla.
It was pretty enjoyable. I would recommend playing the game first before you read the manga. But yeah, the way they portrayed Ivar is just in-game. The best way to describe him is this dude is like Nishitani from Yakuza 0.
Yeah, super wild character. Yeah, that's the one thing I like is the characters are very expressive, and you could tell exactly who they are right off the bat from when they're first introduced in the opening chapter of the volume. I had a fun time with that. I gotta say, man, one thing I was not expecting for this prequel manga was how brutal it was going to be, and how graphic too. The games don't get that graphic, right, for Valhalla?
See, in Valhalla, there's some, finishing animations that you can do. For example, if you kill someone with a spear, you can take it from them, kick them down on the ground, and you just throw it in their chest, and it just impales them. It's pretty brutal, like the game.
I like it because it shows just how ruthless, the Viking era was. And I know that was something that was going to be worrying when the game launched, because one of the trailers, it's oh, look, the Vikings are the good guys, kind of thing.
And don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed the game and like this manga too. This is a Viking, fantasy at best. That's the best way someone else described it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Eivor is not a real person, you know that. Surprisingly, that town that he lives in, it's called Ravensthorpe, that he makes. Coincidentally, that's a real town in England. And so when Ubisoft went to England, looking up more history about it, they were just this is real. Okay, we didn't notice this until after the game was made. It was just a big coincidence.
Yeah, I gotta say, Fang's art is fantastic. All the action sequences during the clash between these 2 armies are really great. Towards the back half of the volume here, just super ruthless. My only complaint about it really is the fact that the sound effects are not only in English, but they have the white outline, so it's super noticeable when you're looking at these fantastic just spreads of characters.
My complaint was that I felt like it was more about Ivar the Boneless. I wanted to see more of Halfdan Ragnarsson. Ivar in the game too, you see him a couple times, a good amount of times. Halfdan Ragnarsson, you only see him once or twice. I get it though, because everyone likes Ivar a bit more because of how crazy he is.
Yeah, that's kind of like the one thing that sucks with video game mangas or comic books. There's just not enough time to get to a lot of things that they want to explore. But I could see that, yeah, I kind of wanted more from some other characters. There was a lot of moments in here for exposition and setup that they probably could have trimmed down a little bit. But that's coming from me as a person who hasn't played Valhalla. But you have. Did you feel like the exposition went on a little too long? If a person played the game, do they need all that information?
Not really.
And I mean, you know, this thing mainly is to help promote the game when it was coming out.
Yeah.
If you remember, the mangaka for Vinland Saga did a one-shot as well, where we saw Thorfinn in the Valhalla world, and then he got knocked out by the assassin.
I liked it as a bonus. I think it's really cool. If you're really into the lore of Assassin's Creed, and if you like the story for Valhalla, then definitely recommend this.
For Valhalla, how focused is it on the actual assassins?
The assassins are more of on the sidelines, but you're working with them. In Valhalla, your brother comes back after traveling, and he's just like, oh, I brought these men from Constantinople. He's one of the assassins, and he brings his apprentice also. They're with you in the main story too, but I feel like they don't have as big as a presence in this game. You know what I'm saying?
That was one of the things I was thinking of when I was reading these chapters was at some point there's going to be like a reveal of like, oh, that's clearly a weapon an assassin uses type of thing.
Yeah.
Like I knew these characters that are the main focus here aren't the main characters of Valhalla, but I was expecting something like that to pop up here.
It's more of a world-building thing with this manga. It's showing you, oh, here's England, like back then. Here are some of the towns. This is what it's like when you're going to start playing Valhalla, if you read this first before you play the game.
So again, yeah, overall, this was a pretty good read. I have been thinking maybe it is time to dive into the Assassin's Creed mangas and see exactly what's going on over there. And so this was a nice introduction into that world. Again, this is already out digitally. You could pick it up wherever you get your digital mangas. And then the physical, again, is going to drop on October 12th. So, all right, guys, that's all we have for today. Again, shout-outs to Tokyo Pop giving us the review copy. If you have any questions or comments, what did you think of this manga? Would love to hear your thoughts. You can send us an email to unversepodcast@gmail.com, and we'll sure to bring those up on the next episode. And then you could follow us on social media at Unverse Podcast anywhere you go, and we'll let you know when those episodes drop. So thank you guys, and we will catch you on the next one.